Thank you guys and welcome to NECAN Live on Friday morning. And I'm so honored to be here with Charlie LeMay and everyone. This is our Kinsen Vital Balance call and NECAN, and we're all independent distributors, consultants. I like to say wellness consultant. And I'm Barbara Bertucci, and I am a Royal Diamond at NECAN. So what I'd like to do is actually interview Charlie.
Will you record this?
I am recording.
Doesn't show recording on the screen.
It is recording.
Top left corner, Charlie.
Okay.
Top left corner. You'll see it.
Oh, good. There you go. So here we are. And what's wonderful about this is that we are all working together for our optimum health. And we have become very good friends along the way. And I've been in NECAN for 24 years. And I'm just thrilled to have gotten my life back and my physicalness back. And so, but with Charlie and I met. He is a Canadian and also was a Floridian, a snowbird for a while. And that's how Charlie and Ramon and I have met and gotten to know each other so well and travel the globe with NECAN. But Charlie, first, I guess I want you to say how you got started with NECAN and introduced. Go ahead, Charlie.
Well, about I've been with NECAN now for going on 12 years, and how I got started is Ramon had an injury from way back when. As a matter of fact, it was before we were married. She had a very bad back injury where she had problems with her spine, had a couple of broken bones in her spine. So all of our life, we didn't know about this till later on in years when the fine doctor diagnosed what it was, and he told her exactly what it was. So after that, we were wondering what to do because Ramon had been to every known doctor that she could, every specialist, everybody, and chiropractors, and you name it, and they all couldn't help her out. She had these constant migraines and headaches and everything. So once we knew what it was and what he told us that we have to do, we said, okay, but we still didn't know what to do. So we met Jim Fry, who is a Floridian, and he was telling us, he says, well, I think I may have something for you. And I says, well, what's that? And he says, well, let's meet and I'll tell you about it. So we met and he told me it was magnets, etc. I laughed at him and I says, if you think that magnets are going to help me after we've been 30 some odd years going to see a news for you. And he says, that could be true, but what have we got to lose? Let's try it. So I said, good point. So we tried it. And Ramon had some success with it. So he was telling me, he says, you know what you really need is a wellness home. So I said, really, what is that? So he told me all about it. I says, okay, send it to me. So that's when I bought everything else that goes with it. Lo and behold, after 3 months, well, the first month, Ramon had some difficulties, but after 3 months, no more pain, no more pills, and she felt really, really good. So I says, wow, this is great. So that's how we got started on the whole thing. Ramon's on the line. Maybe she wants to add something to that.
Ramon, you're muted. Maybe I can unmute you. Ramon, did you want to add something?
Maybe not.
I know when you have back issues. Yeah, I know when you have back issues, it takes a lot, and it takes a lot out of you, and you can barely get through the day. So you just handle what you can, and you don't have much else for anybody else. You know, that's the hard part. So this happened. Oh, there you are, Ramon. Go ahead.
Oh, well, it's a good picture of what had happened at the time. like Charlie was saying, I wasn't paying for a long time and trying this technology. A little spectacle. Really couldn't believe it, that it really did work. And what surprised me, after a month and a half, I wasn't taking any more pills and I had no more pain, which was like a big aha for me. So I guess we continued using the technology, and that's what really helped my spine.
Well, I'm going to use you. I'm going to use you later too, because as Charlie tells his story, you were the catalyst to get the products on him. So I think Charlie.
So fast.
But I think
fast forward from there.
Wait a minute, but
I was asking, well, what else?
Go ahead.
Fast forward from there, I was asking, well, what else does this company have? And then he says, what other problems do you have? And I was on the road a lot, so I had a very bad bowel problem, internal acidity and buildup, and it was terrible. I couldn't eat anything. And so I says, well, what have you got for that? And they said, well, you got water and the greens items. So I says, well, maybe I'll try it. So I tried it, and it did wonders for me. So I said, wow, is that ever great? So we thought our life was all great and things were coming along good. And then he told me, well, maybe you want to share it with other people. I said, good idea. So I started sharing it. Then a few years later, about 4 or 5 years ago, I had a stroke. In the stroke, my whole right side was paralyzed. It was blood. You know what a stroke is, where the blood is not getting to the brain. So my right side was virtually paralyzed because I couldn't walk. I couldn't write. I couldn't do anything. So Ramon was helping me eat. I was trying to eat with my left hand. That was kind of difficult. So we went to the physiotherapist, and they decided to give me exercises to do. Then I started asking around with Nick, and I said, like, what should I do? And they said, well, it's very simple. Your body is out of balance. You need to get your body back in balance. So I said, how do you do that? He says, put as many magnets as you can all around your body. So I started to do that. I put them around my neck. I put them around my head. Taped them on different places. And so I was a magnetized guy. And lo and behold, while I was going through the physiotherapy, because the girl says, wow, you're coming along real good on that. Ramon says, you don't have to. We were going 3 times a week for instructions and everything else. So we decided to cut it down to once or twice a week. But we still were getting the recovery that they'd never seen before. And my family doctor says, I hope I can get you walking or out of the wheelchair, what have you, in 6 months. So we progressed through that. And I'm going to tell you that I was amazed at the recovery. It was probably 8 to 10 weeks, and I was up walking normally. But during that time, Ramon was a great help to me in that she was creative again, be able to do the things we wanted to. And expect, like.
Great, Charlie.
I pressed the wrong button here.
No, you did great. And I've got a little intermittent with my cable, but let's go ahead. I think that what I would love to share and have you underline is, what did you put on you right away after the, I know, and I appreciate you going through this. It's got to be very, very emotional for you. So I appreciate you doing this with us. What did you use once you had it? And I did want to preface, he did have a head injury. He hit his head really bad. And
question is, what did I use immediately afterwards?
yes.
right on the head, because the doctor was telling me that most of the work you're going to have to do is going to be around the head. So I had a band which I was able to put in some power magnets, and I had them all around my head. I also had them around my throat, as I have today here. And in the necklace, I had necklaces galore around me. And I also had a little pouch. And those little pouches where I was able to stick them anywhere where I felt, you know, there might be a need for something in here. So I was sticking those around there. And then I was able to get one of our, and then we had a little rolling machine, automatic one. And I was able to get Ramon to do it on my back and roll me out and do all of the rolling things everywhere else in my body and my shoulders and everything else. So
Great. Awesome.
And Charlie, if I understand you correctly, it was like they just kind of happened. You'd be working on them, trying to make it better, trying to be normal, and things would just happen to make it better. Is that while you were using the shake?
yes, it was yeah, it was like a progression. All of this was on the progression. Like when I felt that I was out of sync and I needed to get my body back into sync, and what didn't happen all at once. I could get up one day and I say, oh, I can do a little bit more of this. I can do a little bit more of that. And one day, Ramon took me over to the park and she says, let's throw the ball. So we started throwing the ball. Of course, put her elbow, her shoulder out, and we were throwing the ball. But I had to learn how to fall forward.
That's one of the.
Hang on, Ramon's coming in. You need something, Ramon?
No, I want to get on, but I can't.
You're doing great. Y'all are doing great.
What do you want to do?
Awesome. You're doing great. Y'all are doing great. This is awesome. And it's still looking like it's recording.
You just have a little bit of a feedback.
Somebody's got to get mute in your home, Charlie. That's all.
You know, we all expect when we're doing things like that you're going to be better. But it was a very slow progression. But what I found after a while is that the progression was getting faster and faster and faster. The more I used and the more I was able to adhere to my program, then the faster I would get, faster I would move. So yeah, for me it was great.
Charlie, I just appreciate you taking this time to share with us. And I just want to thank you. And I'm
obviously you went through a lot more. Who was totally paralyzed, couldn't speak. Luckily I got him immediately to the hospital and was there. And in ICU, I literally had the nurses help me put the insoles in his socks, put the sleep system on him, our travel sleep system, put the neck band and the wristband on. And this was like 10 o'clock when physical therapy comes by around the hotel. Now, he ended up with a lot of residual speech issues. He wasn't like Charlie. Charlie got all his speech back, but Don didn't. But other than that, he physically was able to do everything, and I'm grateful that I had these products.
guys, this has been awesome. I am so grateful and just want to say that we are independent. And I'm hoping this thing recorded the whole thing. That's all I can say. All right. I appreciate you guys. Let's stop.